So Deca has recently opened up a public testing session, showcasing a few features that are going to be part of the Realm rework. Players have been waiting for so long for something like this, which honestly should have come earlier, but hey, better late than never. You can read the full blog post in here, and I've also included the link in the description. I won't be reading the full blog post, but I will be reading the parts that mention the major features which are present in the testing session as of now. With that out of the way, here are some of the upcoming features for the Realm rework. Realmers. For years, many of you have been requesting and anticipating a major reconstruction to the Realms, and we are glad to officially announce that 2023 is finally the year of the Realm rework. Today will be the first time we share information about it, as well as having our first PT to get some early feedback on some of the new systems that will be involved. Not everything mentioned within this post will be available for the first playtest, but we would still like to hear your thoughts as they will be part of the future sessions. If you look through the blog post, you can see a lot of new changes to the realm that Deca is planning, like an expanded realm with more biome variety, and a combat power system that reminds me way too much of mobile game ads. Whoa, how did you get so much combat power in just a few minutes? By playing Realm of the Mad God Exalt, of course. It's been recently reworked for a modern audience, and it's super easy to get a lot of combat power. Download now on Steam. However, the few features that I want to talk about are the ones currently on testing: beacons, realm score, and updated art. However, before we talk about these features, their purpose, and how they're currently implemented on testing, I need to preface this by saying that this is all subject to change, so not everything that's shown in testing will be the same on release. Have you ever entered a realm with two other people in it, one of which is usually the bot, with the intention of wanting to farm enemies in the Godlands, only for none of the other players to be anywhere near it? Well, this first feature aims to solve this exact problem. As you traverse through the many biomes, players may come across a biome beacon. Activating these beacons serves as permanent progression for everyone that joins that realm, and will allow players to freely teleport to different areas of the realm without requiring another player to be in the location. This is a very helpful quality of life feature that will allow players to teleport to certain areas even if there aren't any other players in that area. As it is on testing, beacons are represented by bold yellow dots on the minimap similar to locked players. These beacons are named after the biome that they're in, and will teleport you to their location if you choose to. When you teleport to a beacon, you're met with the Windflower Ninja skin? Reminder that most of this is placeholder and will probably be polished on release. There's also this, which, yeah, I'll leave you to think about it. No, RotMG isn't becoming an arcade game. Realm score is a mechanic planned to change how realms are cleared. The final major shift from the old realm to the new realm is a change in how players progress and close the realm. For this, we're introducing a mechanic known as realm score. Everything you do in the realm will grant realm score and contribute to closing the realm. Killing encounters and heroes will still grant the most realm score overall, but if someone just feels like vibing out in the shipwreck goal, hunting for a new biome, they can do so while still contributing to the overall goals of the realm. This is a really nice feature, because it means that simply by playing the game, you are helping to close the realm. Don't want to fight the avatar of the Forgotten King, or rather do snake picks? You can. And this time, no one else can say that you're a slow, lazy cocksucker. Realm score is available on testing right now, but it's pretty buggy. It's supposed to replace the message that shows how many heroes or orcs are remaining, but it only appears sometimes. When the realm score does appear, it appears as a value in the thousands that goes down when players do certain things in the realm, such as defeating heroes of orcs. This isn't the final form, obviously, since the blog post already showed a different version of the realm score, with a much more intuitive progress bar and percentage value. As for changing how realms are cleared, well, this is a pretty big change, and I'd say a welcome one. It doesn't remove clearing event pauses as an efficient method of closing realms, but instead adds to how realms can be cleared. Groups can focus on fighting events for orcs, or they can just play through the realm casually while the realm score progresses, just a bit slower. This isn't really a feature, but more so an excuse for me to geek over some of the new sprites. If you don't want to hear me rant about a bunch of squares that you probably won't even notice, you can skip to this timestamp. RotMG has lots of old enemies, meaning that there are bound to be many outdated sprites and or animations, like the jankiest horn drake, which doesn't even have an animation, or the... Anyways, the sprites that Deca is planning to update aren't limited to just enemies. They're also updating tile textures, like water, which, man, looks a lot more like water. When did we hit such a low point where we can get excited over water? Back to enemy sprites, the ones updated so far have been posted on here, along with a few sprites that haven't been used yet. A lot of these enemies are shaded much better than before, and have more appealing colors. My personal favorite sprites here are of the Sand Phantom, because of how much more grainy and ghoulish it looks. The unused sprites as of now are these greenish skeletons, wielding swords and shields, and this group of what appears to be jellyfish. For the most part, I'd say that these sprites look really nice and, most importantly, don't contrast with the sprites from newer content. Also, they're not the Arachna the Spider Queen. The realm rework is still very far away, although it is exciting that Deca has announced that the rework is coming this very year, assuming nothing goes wrong. The changes in public testing right now seem fairly promising, and this doesn't even include all the other features that haven't been released to testing yet, like the expanded biome variety. If you have anything to say about these features, like if you agree or disagree, or if there's any features that you think could help, feel free to comment them down below. However, if you really want to give feedback to Deca themselves, then go and tell them in the official Realm of the Mad God Discord server and their testing channels. I'll leave a link in the description. Despite what some people may say, Deca does look at player feedback and, at the very least, takes it into consideration, so don't be afraid to tell them what you think about the Realm rework. If this rework comes on time and delivers on what it promises, then we could very possibly be looking at a golden age for Realm of the Mad God, which makes the future of the game very exciting.